Hi everybody, it's Beth. Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be about hamster stereotypes. So I've got a list of stereotypes written down in my notebook and I'm going to be going through them with you guys and basically debunking them and telling you why it's not a stereotype, whether it's real or whether it's been misled. So the first stereotype is hamsters chew on their cages to wear down their teeth. This is untrue. Cage and ball biting is a stress behavior. It is not a method for them to wear down their teeth. It means they're stressed, they're bored. It could mean their enclosure is too small or they don't have enough enrichment in their enclosure. Something you could do to stop this, as you will want to stop this, is you could upgrade their enclosure as well as give them a lot more enrichment, such as deeper depth of bedding, maybe make some boredom breakers for them. I have a few on the channel that I've done, some DIYs that you can follow, as well as making sure that your enclosure doesn't have any bars or wires on it, just to prevent them from biting again. The next stereotype is your hamster getting wet will cause wet tail. I've seen this a lot on videos of people bathing their hamsters. It's painful. Your hamster getting wet will not give them wet tail. Wet tail is an illness caused by a bacteria. When the bacteria enters your hamster, it causes extreme diarrhea, and because diarrhea is watery poo, the tail of the hamster, where the anus is, obviously will get wet because of the water of the diarrhea, hence the name wet tail. You shouldn't bathe your hamsters in water. This is why you provide a sand bath for them, because you can't bathe the hamsters in water. It's not safe for them, it's not good for them. It affects their coat, it affects their body temperature. Hamsters can't properly regulate their body temperature because they're so small. Bathing your hamster will also get rid of a lot of the important oils on their coat that prevent it from getting greasy, or also keeping them clean, and by bathing them you're washing all of that away, and it's just not good for them. In general, you should never bathe your hamster in water. The next stereotype is that hamsters stink. This is true. Hamsters are animals, so they are going to have some sort of smell. But the smell is manageable. How, you may ask? Cleaning your hamster's enclosure. Some hamsters, Sunny for example, they like to pee in spots that isn't their sand bath. And when they do that, the scent builds up and it makes it stink. This is why you need to spot clean your enclosure as well as clean it out at least once a month, depending on the size of your enclosure. Because too much ammonia in your hamster's enclosure can actually affect your hamster's nose. It can make them sick as well. So it's really, really important that you're cleaning out your hamster's cage regularly, as well as spot cleaning regularly, just to prevent that really nasty smell from building up and affecting your hamster as well as affecting you. The next stereotype is that hamsters are cheap pets. Now this is a very controversial topic because overall people will go to a pet shop to buy a hamster, and you will see that hamsters are relatively cheap being sold in pet shops. The reason they're cheap is because they're relatively small animals. Animals are sold based off of size, from what I've seen. But the thing is with hamsters and them being cheap pets, people think that all you need is a cage, a hamster, bedding, food, water bottle, that's it. But like I've said earlier, hamsters require a lot of maintenance and they require a lot of toys and enrichment to keep them busy and to keep them happy. And getting them a decently sized enclosure, they can be pretty pricey. I know that Sunny's bin cage that she's in right now costed maybe just over 500 HKD. I'm not sure how much that is in USD, but it was pretty expensive for a box. So no, hamsters are not cheap pets, and if you think they are, you may want to look at how you're looking after your hamster, because the higher the price, the more you know about whether or not you're properly looking after your hamster, and it's very important that you are giving them the care that they require, because if you don't, then it can lead to some serious problems for you and your hamster in the future. The next stereotype is that hamsters make good pets for children, or hamsters are for children. I disagree with this, and I do have reasons for this. First one being, Hamsters are living, breathing, eating, drinking animals. They are real things. They walk around, they eat, they drink, they require a lot of care, and children just aren't capable of keeping up with all of that. Some parents may buy a hamster for their child thinking it's a good first pet for them, or whether it's a birthday present or a Christmas present. It's just not a great idea because you're not really thinking about the responsibility, like the amount of responsibility that comes with looking after an animal, especially a hamster who requires a lot of care, and it's just a really complicated animal to be considered as a good first pet for children. If you really want to get your child their first pet, maybe you should consider a plant or a fish. Because hamsters just simply aren't suitable for children who don't know much about responsibility yet, and will need to learn a lot before, in my opinion, will need to learn a lot before they're actually able to properly look after a hamster. The next stereotype is that pet shop owners are educated on hamster care. This is not true from what I've seen. Whenever I go to the pet shop to get supplies for the hamsters, I often see the pet shop owners handling the hamsters really rough and just scaring the living light out of them. When they're moving their bowl, giving them food, replacing their water, whatever they're doing, they're startling them so much, and it's really sad because they're not being gentle, and they're also not educated on how small they are, the fact that they're prey animals and they are going to get really scared. And also when you take a hamster home from a pet shop here, you have to buy a package, so you have to buy a bag of bedding, a bag of food. The food that they give you, I do have some here actually. The food that they give you is this. It's not open because obviously it's not what a hamster should be eating. It's not something that they need in their diet, hey, but I thought I'd just keep it for educational purposes. This is what they make you buy when you purchase a hamster here in a pet shop. So no, they're not educated on hamster care because it's, as you can see, it's just rings of little hay like little balls of hay shaped as donuts. Hamsters don't need hay in their diet. They're omnivores. They need a balance of seeds, herbs, grains, also fruit and vegetables. They don't need hay in their diet. It's not compulsory. They can survive perfectly fine without it. And the fact that they're not educating young children and even adults on how you should be looking after your hamster, what you should be feeding them, all that, it's just not much. It's not much help for people who are new to hamster care and need to learn the basics like diet, you know, like the fact that they're crepuscular, they don't sleep during the day, they don't sleep at night, they sleep during the day, all that. So no, hamster shop owners do not know about the animals that they are selling at all. The next stereotype I want to go over is that hamsters are herbivores. A lot of people assume that because hamsters are rodents, they eat the same as rats, mice, guinea pigs, so they eat hay and vegetables. As I previously mentioned, hamsters don't need hay in their diet. It's not unhealthy for them, it's just really not necessary for them to have hay in their diet. It's not compulsory, it's not something they need to survive. Hamsters are omnivores, which means they have a diet that consists of seeds, herbs, grains, as well as some fruits and vegetables. And not many people know this because they assume that, as you just saw, the food that's being sold in the pet shops that are marketed for hamsters are made of hay, and that's like, again, something they don't need. So no, hamsters are not herbivores, they're omnivores. They need a variety of good food for them to be healthy, happy, and to thrive, and also to have a decent diet. I actually made a video on diets. I'll link it in the description so you guys can be a little more educated on what a hamster diet should consist of. The last stereotype I will be debunking is one that I've been seeing a lot on Instagram recently, and that's that hamsters die in unpredictable ways. I've seen some hamsters die from being stuck inside a hideout, from being thrown up into the air and then dying mid-air, from them not being fed, even from them interacting with other animals. The thing about this is people don't understand that hamsters are teeny tiny prey animals, and when you put them in a stressful situation, so for example with another animal, they're gonna get scared, they're gonna get freaked out, and the tiny little thing is obviously going to shut down and just be really scared for its life because you're putting it in that kind of situation. How would you feel if someone picked you up and put you in front of this alien creature that you've never met before and it started picking you up and throwing you around? Honestly, how would you feel if people started doing that to you? What people don't understand is hamsters don't die in weird ways. It's that people are not educated on their care and that they're not being careful when they're handling their hamsters. That is why they die. That is why they mostly don't live for very long. At most, they live to 1.5 to 2 years. From what I've been seeing, these hamsters have been living a few months. And it's not the hamster. It's that people are not educated on how to care for them properly, and it's just so irritating and heartbreaking, because if they just did more research, if they just took the time to Google proper hamster care and just spent an hour of their time just collecting information to give the hamster the best life possible, they wouldn't have lost their life so early. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Peace.